Parsboro Community Radio listeners. Welcome to Exploring the Neighborhood with your hosts, Thor and Debbie, here on CICR 99.1 on your FM dial. We'd like to thank Kanza as the sponsor for our show.
For those of you who are not aware, Kanza is Cumberland County's only careers Nova Scotia centre and a vital participant in this area's road to prosperity. This year, Kanza is celebrating 15 years of serving the area and providing valuable employment and educational opportunities. Our goal for Exploring the Neighborhood is to take you on a series of half-hour adventures that include road trips, candid interviews, and commentaries.
We'll focus on the area's homegrown businesses, unique landmarks, and emerging talent. We're hoping to shine a well-deserved light on the local endeavors that promote eco-friendliness and self-sufficiency.
Welcome to another episode of Exploring the Neighborhood, and I am sitting here in our Springhill studio with a lovely girl called Renee and a wonderful woman called Trudy. Renee, what do you do to promote local produce in the Springhill, Oxford area?
Well, there's a couple different things. I'm involved with the day camp here at Springhill, the community center. Every second Monday, we do a healthy snack where the kids can kind of get their hands on some healthier foods, and I try to make it as local as possible. I think last week we made apple cookies, so it's sliced apples with some yogurt and some granola, and I had some local blueberries as well to put on top. The kids loved them. They didn't last very long. I also, in Oxford, every Friday, I am there at the Lion Center with some fresh snacks as well. The Oxford Berry Farm is a big help there. I pick up my berries there, and I made fruit kebabs, and I used just the watermelon at the store. The kids like that too.
So you cheat.
I did a little bit, but...
All right. We know how this goes.
But the fruit kebabs were a big hit, especially for the swimming lessons I believe they had there going on that week. For Canada Day in Oxford, we had a party there as well, so we used the local beef from Dickie's Meats. We also had some fruit and vegetables. I picked up some peas and some salad turnip from Broadfork Farm and some strawberries from the Oxford Berry Farm as well. And we had the Strawberry Fest in Oxford as well. The Oxford Berry Farm, they have lots of strawberries, so I made the strawberry salsa again, which is a big hit.
Eleanor was saying that Oxford has the best strawberries in Canada.
And it's weird because Oxford is known for their blueberries, but yes, their strawberries are very good. Here in Springhill, we're doing actually a couple barbecues in the coming weeks. One for the community garden, and I'm going to be picking up some local chicken for chicken kebabs and some corn. Hopefully it's as local as possible. I'm also doing a watermelon and feta salad. I don't know if the watermelon will be local, but I'll try my best. So with the healing garden at the Springhill Hospital, we're doing gardens there. We pick up local transplants like tomatoes and cucumbers from the GRVC, and they're going to be making some salsa, I believe, in the coming weeks once it's ready to pick. The patients come out a couple times a week and help water and weed as much as they can. So that's going to be fun, and every Thursday, I believe, they have some music in the garden from some local music from the Anne Murray Center.
And how do people know about all this? Where would they find out?
It's a good question. Hopefully. There are a couple Facebook groups, but they aren't getting as much attention as they should. I believe that word of mouth is the best way, so I've been trying to talk to people in the communities.
So you hang out at Timmy's then? Apparently that and the post office is the only place to find out anything in Springhill.
Yeah, but that's definitely a challenge, and I've been calling the gardeners for the gardening barbecue, but even that's difficult as well. But it's definitely an area for improvement, getting the word out.
And what is your favorite dish that you've made?
Strawberry salsa. That was a big hit.
It was with us.
Yeah. No, that was really good.
What are the big plans coming up?
The barbecues is the main thing. I'm having, I think, 5 in the next 2 weeks.
Where do we sign up?
Anywhere. There's one in Oxford, one in Springhill. Those ones are free for the community to come. I'll be supplying the food.
So Renee, what's this about a daycare?
So in Oxford, there's the daycare, and I've been trying to implement some local healthier snacks with them. Once or twice a week, I give them some local produce from either Side by Each Farm or the Oxford Berry Farm, and it's just berries or yogurt. We're trying to get some more for the rest of the summer as well.
Excellent.
And just want to talk a little bit more about community gardens that we have. So there are 5 in Oxford, and there's 1 location here in Springhill. We're always looking for more people who are interested in growing some of their own food. And the community gardens are a great addition to our community, as they provide a lot of opportunities for people to grow their own food and to get some exercise and some social people to talk to about things you like to do. So yeah, if you have any interest in doing something like that, I'm the person to contact.
And are you going to lead the march for chickens for Springhill?
You bet.
Get that law overturned?
Yeah.
Those who don't know, apparently there's a law that bans chicken farming in Springhill. We'd like to see that change.
Yes, we would.
How do we get a hold of you, Renee? Where do we find you?
I'll give you my email, 124918b@acadiau.ca.
So anyone with questions about local farming, they can contact you.
Yes, they can. And I'm also located for half of the week at the town of Oxford, the town hall there.
So people can drop by and say,
Yeah.
how do you make your strawberry salsa?
I just found that online too, so if anyone wants to, Google that, they can.
Oh, don't give away the secret.
It's not a secret.
Well, Renee, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming, and appreciate it. And we will be dropping in again at the Springhill Farmers Market, hopefully one day to see a farmer.
Yes,
But we'll
hopefully.
be glad to try some of your food in the meantime.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for introducing wonderful food to the people who wouldn't ordinarily run out to Broad Fork or Wismickle or Side by Each Farms.
All right. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And we are now here with Trudy. Trudy, what do you do? How are you involved with Renee? How does this work?
Oh, hi. I am a nutritionist with public health in Amherst. I work for the Nova Scotia Health Authority, and healthy eating is a big part of the work that we do, of course. I'm on the Healthy Communities team, and a few years ago, we started a project here in Springhill called Getting Healthy Springhill, and we wanted to introduce healthy eating in some of our local community settings. And we had a great group of partners came together here, including the community college, the food bank, the hospital, the community center, Dr. Carson, Marion Murray Community Center, the Anne Murray Center. I hope I haven't forgotten someone. Anyway, we have a great group of people here in Springhill who really want to introduce healthy food and eating options. They wanted to have a community garden. They wanted to have a healing garden at the hospital. We wanted to introduce healthy food options in recreation events at the community center. So we applied for some funding that was available through Thrive in Nova Scotia to promote healthy eating and physical activity for students, and we got the project. And so the project's been running for a couple of years. We've been able to make a lot of changes in our facilities in Springhill, and we've held multiple events over the last 3 summers. Renee is a co-op student. We've been able to get funding for a co-op student to move our work forward, and we've been really excited to have her here this year. In Oxford, we also did the same thing. Last year, we got some funding through Thrive, and we implemented a similar process, and we combined our work with Springhill to increase our partnering in Cumberland County between 2 communities. So we're learning from each other, we're sharing events, we share the student that we have. And this is our 3rd summer, and I'm happy to say that the funding for the project this year has totally come from the community. So the municipality of Cumberland, the town of Oxford, the Ecology Action Centre, our food project contributed, All Saints Hospital has contributed. Yeah, we're just really pleased that we can promote local food.
I think it's a great idea. And where do we go from here now that we've got community gardens, we've got promotion of healthy food to all the bigger schools and community events?
Well, we love to promote food, healthy food for children in our recreation settings. So a big part of our work is continuing to encourage our recreation settings to offer healthy options. So physical activity and healthy eating go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other. And so, we are creating a wonderful new play setting down here in downtown Springhill. It's an outdoor accessible playground, the natural playground that they were really lucky to get here, again, through some great partnerships. We have our trails system here in Springhill. We also have the same thing in Oxford. We have a lot of people who have more interest in this. Our mayor in Oxford is very supportive of this work and engaged in doing anything to help move us forward. So, like Renee said, we've been working with daycares, schools, recreation settings, trying to find every opportunity that we can to promote our local farmers, our local produce, and also to just show people that, hey, there are other options to the hot dog, hamburger, routine. Even though we might use local beef for some hamburgers in our barbecues, we really hope to get this enthusiasm spreading across the county, to tell you the truth. We'd love to see our Getting Healthy sign in every community. We'd like to see more communities engaging summer community food programmers to work with our communities and our farmers markets and whatnot to promote more produce and to work with our local farmers. We're also engaged in a project called Nourish Your Roots. Nourish Nova Scotia is a fundraising body. It's a nonprofit organization. They raise funds for school. Healthy food in schools is one of their mandates. That includes things like breakfast programming or other promotion of healthy food. So the fundraising aspect in schools, we've always been trying to change. People sell chocolate bars or other goodies. Why not sell healthy food? So this year we'll be partnering with Nourish. Our farm group, our Cumberland Food Action Network farm group, has come together and they have agreed to produce enough food for 500 boxes for 5 Cumberland County schools. We have several teachers and administrators who are on board with the project as well, and we are gearing up to bring the children to the community center here in Springhill. 2 schools from Parsboro will be participating. We're going to be putting together farm boxes with food from all of our farmers. The food is food that's typically grown for Thanksgiving. It will be available for sale at the beginning of September. The children will be going home with the order forms, and the food will then be able to be picked up on the Wednesday, I believe, before Thanksgiving. And the cool thing about it is the children are coming, the farmers are going to be present, we're going to put together the boxes. So it's an opportunity to create a new market for farmers. A good percentage of funding from the box, I believe it's $9 per box. The boxes will cost $30. Certain percentage will go to the farmers, certain percentage will go to the schools, and a certain percentage will go to Nourish. So it's creating an economy for our local farmers, and next year, if this goes well, they will be able to produce more food, and hopefully we'll be able to get more schools on board so that they can plant more crops. So this year they've all agreed to plant a specific crop. So that's one thing we're doing. We're really hoping to build that awareness of local food through our summer community work and working with the groups, but also to do it through the year with the schools. Renee is right. We'd love to encourage people to come out to the community gardens. We'd like to see the community gardens expanded to develop some more enthusiasm for teaching, skill building around food with volunteers in our community, with intergenerational learning. We'd love to see more farmers be able to come to the local farmers markets, by increasing their markets. So as we know right now, if you don't have the market, you can't bring food to sale. So there are some challenges around that. We're really excited.
But you know what's going to happen, Trudy? If you continue with this plan, you're going to have more farmers, you're going to have increased sustainability, and you're going to work yourself out of a job.
I hope so. I very much hope so. Yeah,
because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to have a whole county full of healthier people.
Exactly.
Then what all the nurses and doctors going to do?
Exactly. That's our goal. We want people to be eating our healthy, locally produced, sustainable food that we know where it comes from and who's looking after it for us. The group that's involved in the Nourish Your Roots are Good Time Farm, Wismickle Farms, Alder Meadow Farms, Broad Fork Farm, Side by Each Farm, Stellaria Herbs are providing some herbs for our boxes, and Vistabella Farms is providing apples for the boxes as well. So we're super excited about that, and come on down to the community center in October. We'll advertise when the date is. I think it's October 5th. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's the day. Come on down, help us celebrate the harvest and buy a box.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Everybody else, come on down. Meet Trudy and Renee. Enjoy a bunch of good vegetables and some fruits.
And you can meet your local farmers as well. So.
Yes.
And some of the great teachers who are supporting local food in schools and our communities, and as well some of the kids. Our children are coming down to help out.
Well, Trudy, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us for a little bit.
Thank you for having us.
So we are sitting here with my son, Cody, who is visiting us from Huntsville, Alabama. This is his first time visiting Nova Scotia. Cody, how do you like it here?
I've absolutely loved it so far. I've had a really great time here. I will say it is a lot like Alabama and Tennessee, but it's on the ocean, which I do love. It is a big difference.
So Cody, being your first time here, you haven't seen your mother and your stepdad for 2 years. We bought a house in Springhill. We also bought a little farm out in Joggins, River Hebert area. And of course I told you about it. Is it what you had expected?
Not quite what I expected, but I can definitely see where you guys can make a home there.
We have been gutting the house, so everything is just torn apart. The land is beautiful, gorgeous. It's very quiet, pleasant out there. But I'm glad you can see a future there, Cody, because when my dad came to visit, he told us to burn the house down. So I'm really glad that you can at least see our vision.
It kind of reminds me of some of the places that I come from. I look at that and I feel like I'm looking right out my back door sometimes.
So, Cody, you live in Alabama. What are you doing there?
I like working on cars. I like repairing them. We also like to go out to the river, search for arrowheads, archaeology, stuff around there. Work-wise, like mainly automotive.
As your mother, I kind of had a feeling that you would really like it here.
The most interesting thing, I think, the Joggins area with all of the ancient fossils, prehistoric items that you're able to find there is really, really interesting. Especially cliff sides are just very, very beautiful.
And we had the opportunity to have Brian from Fundy Treasures take us on a guided tour, which was wonderful. And what did he teach you?
What was nearby, all the different kinds of fossils, what time periods it came from, how they even got there. He went down to every little detail about anything you can ask.
All right, Cody, what was up with the red sand yesterday on that beach?
All full of clay.
Why wasn't it the same as Joggins?
Normally, all that mud and clay and everything would compress together to make stone, just like at the shore.
Then explain coal.
Coal is plant matter that has been compressed down over time.
What's up with all the roots that we found? We could see all these holes in the rock. Brian said they were roots.
The roots make an indentation in the mud, and then the roots literally rot away or become coal itself, and it leaves the holes they make.
Cool fossils?
Really cool fossils.
What was your coolest one?
The branch.
The tree trunk branch
The tree trunk branch that we found at the very end of the tour.
was about 3 feet long.
Yeah.
About 6 inches.
4 or 5 inches thick, probably about 3.5 feet long, one solid piece.
That was pretty cool.
That was really cool. It's the biggest piece I've seen.
And the area for the tour was actually in Lower Cove Joggins. We did go up around the museum ourselves, but the actual tour was through the Lower Cove area, which is absolutely gorgeous. Tons of fossils, and I know you love looking for fossils. You have a really good eye, and you have found several. What was your favorite part of the tour?
Favorite part of the tour is actually the hands-on part, being able to go out there with Brian and actually be able to find the fossils. The history was very interesting, but he goes out into the field and shows you what you can find. One of the really cool parts is the fact that you can see old fossilized trees up in the cliff tops, and he was able to point them all out for us, explain like how old they were and everything. You're able to see them only like 4 or 5 feet tall inside the hill, but still to know that's a full fossilized tree. That was a living thing at one point. Yeah. But you look at it, it looks just like a normal tree outside. He was also able to show us an old coal mine that had recently been opened up, and you can actually look down into it, see all the water coming out of it.
Yeah, I got pictures of that mine. I would not go near the opening in fear of rocks falling.
There's already a whole bunch of rocks falling right there in front of the entrance, so definitely don't want to go close to it.
Lots of pebbles coming down. Always look up, or don't. We spent some time in Parsboro and hung out on the beach there. Advocate Bay, went through there, and you got to see all the low tides.
You're able to walk pretty much on the seafloor out there.
And you kept telling me that this is your favorite kind of beach. Why is that?
The beaches here are a lot different from the beaches back home. Sandbars for the most part. The beaches here are pretty much rock. There's also different kinds of sand that I've noticed. The reds, the normal, a lot more of rocky sand. By Joggins, where it's purely rocks, but it's definitely unique because out of all the beaches I've been to from the west coast to the east coast, they've always been the same. Come over here, they're a lot different.
That they are. Oh, and speaking of great views, we also went to Cape D'Or. You got to experience that, and you got to meet Garfield at the restaurant there.
As soon as we got down there, he offered us apple cider ale. The food there was also really good too. Garfield was extremely nice to us, and the view was even nicer. And the cider was made in Nova Scotia.
And we also took a really nice drive down the Eco Trail, down to the Apple River area. And that was gorgeous. And we went up in the park where we saw the Three Sisters.
I really like that.
Oh yes, and we did drive along the Sunrise Trail and saw the beach, Heather Beach, Northumberland Strait. And what did you think of it compared to the Bay of Fundy side?
That side of Nova Scotia is definitely a little bit different. The area sort of reminded me of the Tennessee area. Really loved it.
Did you notice that the beach there is not near as crowded as the beaches down in Florida and in the Gulf of Mexico?
Every beach I've been to has always been packed, always crowded, no matter what time of year. Every time we've been to a beach over here, it's been really, really, really nice, just simply because you get to have the entire beach to yourself. Get your own getaway.
And after we went to Heather Beach, we went down the road to Tatamagouche.
I love Tatamagouche, especially for the brewery. The brewery was awesome. After we did that, we walked down the nature trail and we ran across a little museum about the creamery over in Tatamagouche.
Yep. While we were on the trail, on the nature trail, another bald eagle flew right over our heads. I did not have my camera out, unfortunately, so I did not get a picture of it on time. 3 times we've seen a bald eagle while you've been here. Pretty cool.
Those are the most bald eagles I've ever seen.
We got to see a bald eagle on a rock right at the lookout, plain as day, and he just sat there. We did have our binoculars, and we got to stare at this bald eagle for a few minutes before he finally flew away. So that was really cool. We saw lots of rabbits. The trails were pretty easy.
The trails were very easy, but beautiful, beautiful scenery. Because you're on top of those rocks and you're just looking down. And it's like a 300, 400 foot drop. Looking out over the water, seeing the beaches. Really, really beautiful sight.
Yep.
Hey, we got to see a fox
The
out
fox.
in the nudie.
I really liked the fox. The fox was really cute.
We interrupted him doing something.
He was trying to eat something. Or getting ready to pounce.
And he looked at us kind of annoyed.
He was really mad. We interrupted his dinner.
We saw lots of rabbits down in Eatonville area.
We sure did. They were everywhere.
Everywhere. And the squirrels were very annoyed with us as well. They just kind of sat on the fence.
And they were chattering at us.
Okay, time has run out. If you'd like to contact us, our email is scotiaheritageproductions@gmail.com.
When it comes to local business, arts, crafts, and entertainment, we'll try our best to provide a global perspective on our community and remind listeners that where one regularly chooses to spend their money is often much more powerful than the occasional vote at the ballot box.
So, help out your talented neighbors and enjoy the unique diversity of what Cumberland, Westmoreland has to offer. And ultimately, you'll be helping yourself. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Exploring the Neighborhood is sponsored by Kansa, your career's Nova Scotia Centre.
So, tune in next week for another episode of Exploring the Neighborhood with your hosts, Thor and Debbie, here on CICR 99.1 on your FM dial.